Today we are going to see about internal treatment method of water. Internal treatment is nothing but adding some chemicals in the boiler to using a softening process. So it is involved the removal of scale formation substance which were not completely moved into the external treatment by adding chemicals directly to the boilers. Some chemicals adding directly to the boiler. These chemicals are called boiler compounds. There are four types. First one is a phosphate conditioning. Second one is a colloidal conditioning. Third one is a Calgon conditioning, and fourth one is a sodium aluminate conditioning. So we see about colloidal conditioning. Colloidal condition is a scale formation can be avoided by adding colloidal containing agents like kerosene, agar-agar, gelatin, tannin. These like compounds added to the boilers. It used to low pressure boilers. It can be used to low pressure boilers. These colloidal substances get coated over the scale forming particles and convert them into non-adherent loose precipitate. This is the non-adherent and loose precipitate is also called a sludge. It can be removed by blow down method. So colloidal conditioning nothing but it is adding some colliding agent. Then it can be form a sludge. It can be easily removed by blow down operation. So second one is a phosphate conditioning. Phosphate conditioning scale formation can be avoided by adding sodium phosphate. In this method, adding some sodium phosphate like trisodium phosphate, disodium hydrogen phosphate, sodium dihydrogen phosphate, this sodium phosphate. It is also used to high pressure boilers. In colloidal conditioning, we are adding low pressure boilers. In phosphate conditioning, we add high pressure boilers. These phosphates reacts with the calcium and magnesium salt to give soft sludges of calcium and magnesium phosphate. It is also can be removed by blow down method. So this sodium phosphate easily react with the water containing calcium sulfate or magnesium chloride, calcium chloride compound easily deposited in the bottom of the boilers. It can be easily removed by blow down method. So next one is Calgon conditioning. Calgon is sodium hexametaphosphate. Calgon is one of the chemical compound. Name is sodium hexaphosphate. In the substance interact with the calcium ions forming highly soluble complex and thus prevent the precipitation of scale forming salt. In this Calgon compound to prevent the precipitate of scale forming salt. In this compound more soluble in water, so no formation of sludges. So the Calgon conditioning better than sulfate conditioning. So the Calgon conditioning is also better than phosphate conditioning. Next one is a sodium aluminate conditioning. Sodium aluminate undergoes hydrolysis in boiler water to give gelatinous white precipitate of ammonium hydroxide and sodium hydroxide. When we are adding sodium aluminate, it can be reacted to water to form ammonium hydroxide and aluminium hydroxide. In this sodium hydroxide and aluminum hydroxide. In the sodium hydroxide can be reacted magnesium chloride to form magnesium hydroxide and sodium chloride. So the gelatinous white precipitate of ammonium hydroxide and magnesium hydroxide entrap the colloidal silica and finally divided solid. It can be settled easily in the bottom of the boiler. So we can easily remove by blow down operation. These are the internal treatment of boilers. Thank you.